Sadly, today is one of those days where we realize that Thanksgiving is over and that we're going back to school. But instead of it being Christmas break now that we're looking forward to, is exams. Getting that exam prep on. Look at you go! Hey guys, it's Avalon here. Welcome back to Simply Avalon. Today I have another video for you, except it's not a Christmas video. I know, disappointing. But if you didn't realize, now that we are past Thanksgiving break, it's now exam season. Ugh. But I have a great video for you that should hopefully help you pass those exams. So if you need some tips and tricks on how to pass your exam, stay tuned for the rest of this video. My first tip is to take notes, okay? There's a lot of people who are just like, let's take notes on our computer, but if you do take notes solely on your computer, find time and copy those down by hand. It's easier to memorize something when you've actually written it down compared to when you're just typing it out on your computer. Next, use color. Especially when you're taking notes or making note cards, try and separate them by color. This is what I like to do, especially for chemistry. If the vocab is broken into different sections, go ahead and just color code based off the section. I do this for history also sometimes, and this can just help you get the point and also realize which section it is because of color. Next, use flashcards. This is probably one of the most helpful tips. Always, always, always use flashcards. Even if you think you won't use flashcards, make them anyway, because on exam day, you're probably going to be just wearing your sweatpants and you may not even bring your laptop with you to school. So it's easy to just tuck those flashcards into your pocket, and right before your test, you can just quickly go over them to make sure that you have all of the information. Next, do not cram. If you've waited till the day before the exam, chances are it's a little bit too late for you to be studying. So do not try and cram the night before, because if you do not get a good night's rest, I kid you not, you will do horrible on your exam. You probably won't prove me wrong in that respect. So try and get a good night's sleep and also eat a great breakfast the morning of your exam, because let me just tell you, it's going to be tough, especially if you are a freshman and this is your first taste of an exam, a true high school exam, and let me just tell you, those things can get really, really hard, really fast. So make sure that you are well prepared and also mentally fit to actually take the test, because no sleep is not fun. Next, study. Now, I have made a video in the past on how I like to study and just how to study in general, so I'm going to link that over here, but I'm just going to do a quick little rundown. Try and outline your chapters and lessons. For instance, in math, I like to write the title of the chapter and section on the top, and then outline each topic that we go over in that lesson. And I can show you some pictures of my math over here. Then also, if you are just preparing for just a math exam, let's just say you got exempt out of everything else, practice, practice, practice. Sometimes it's not only just, okay, let me read over my flashcards. Sometimes you actually have to do and make sure that you know the material, because there's a big difference in knowing the textbook definition and actually knowing how to put that information to use. So make sure that you practice, do some practice problems. If your teacher gives you a practice test, always do the practice test. Chances are it's going to be nearly the same as your test, your real exam. I promise. They're probably just going to change out most of the numbers. I know, original. So my last tip is to use online resources. And what I mean by this is, if you have English vocab, use vocabulary.com. If you have vocab of any type, use Quizlet. There are so many different websites at your service that you should just definitely use to make sure that you have a great studying time. Next, because that was not actually the last one, I was just reading wrong off my laptop, make sure you have a music playlist. I know for me last year when I was studying for biology, I literally had a Spotify playlist with all of my favorite songs, but also they were broken up with like instrumental songs so that I would not just be jamming out to Lecrae. And lastly, make sure you set out breaks. It's never a good thing to actually just study, and just study for like 8 hours straight on that one day and then think that you're ready. Let me just tell you, it'll do you so much better if you just study, take a break, study, take a break. I promise you, you'll actually recognize if you have a gap in certain material. Lastly, I know I'm saying lastly so much, I'm sorry. I promise this is the last one. Start early. If you are not taking your exams right now, this is a perfect chance for you to go ahead and start going over the material. I know for me, we do not have quarterly exams, we have semester exams, which means you're going to get tested on everything from the start of the year to the end of the year, meaning it does not make sense for you to try and cram in all of that material in one day. It's just, if the teacher was not able to teach you that fast, then chances are you cannot study it that fast. So make sure you give yourself plenty of time to study for your exam. And with that, those are all of my tips and tricks on how to ace your exam, and I really wish you a lot of luck because right now my memory is about to go out on my camera. That's great, I promise. Anyway, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and please tell us down below if you have any other tips or tricks on how to ace your exam. Make sure to bring a calculator, make sure to bring some water and some pencils because everyone forgets a pencil. Kid you not. And I hope you have a great exam. Bye!